In most 3D video games, multiple animations affect the same 3D asset. For example, a character in a third-person shooter can be affected by a run cycle and a weapon reload animation simultaneously. The resulting animation state cannot be pre-computed, as it depends on arbitrary user input and program logic. These animations have to exist separately. Supporting multiple separate animations is a hard requirement for games development tooling. Unfortunately, Blender only supports one single animation per project file. This is one of the reasons most game studios choose to animate in other tools or to not use Blender at all. Let's dive into Blender's animation system and explore how it could be potentially fixed. Blender consists of actions that slot into various objects' animation data. You can link Action 1 to the object armature, Action 2 to the object body and the mesh body. These two actions, linked by three objects, now make up the animation. If you create a new action on the object armature, say to animate a run cycle instead of a walk cycle, you would have just modified the one animation. The previous walk action becomes dangling data, waiting to be linked by some object again. Actions by themselves are not animations, they are modular building blocks for one. Normally, animations know what they animate. In Blender, however, it is the animation targets that link to what animates them. That means Blender objects, meshes, materials, etc. can link to only one action each, limiting Blender to having only one animation. Blender's animation system does not work for games development. There are workarounds which work, maybe. Let me show you one example from Blender's GLTF exporter. If you have exactly one armature instance in your Blender project, it will simply assume all actions to be targeting it. More often than not, it will just not export actions into animations correctly, especially if you animate more than just armature poses. Please don't take this as criticism of the developers of this code. They are forced to map between two incompatible data models. How to fix Blender? As far as I can see, there are three ways Blender's animation system can be adapted. Number 1. Turn the animation data property into a key value map. A newly created animation type will serve as the key. Each data block would store the action and slot per globally selected animation. Switching the active animation will map the correct actions and slots on all data blocks for that animation. This would match how Blender works today the closest. Actions and slots could be reused by multiple data blocks like now, and also by multiple animations. Number 2. Redefine actions to be full standalone animations. The action slots would link to the target data block instead of the other way around. The animation data property would become obsolete. This would greatly simplify a very complex data model, but would require a good bit of work to ensure backwards compatibility. Number 3. Entirely remake the animation data model. Implement a new animation type that would consist of an array of tracks. Each track would store the full animation target, that is the exact data block and property path within it. It does not get simpler than that. This is in fact how pretty much all game engines work. The current system could be entirely deprecated, but could coexist for backwards compatibility purposes for a while. Each of these options would fully fix the problem. On top of that, they could serve as the building block for more advanced features, like a proper non-linear animation system or retargeting capabilities. I think it's worth exploring the possibilities, but I doubt any of this will be implemented anytime soon. Which is why I have implemented the second option as an extension. Meet Slot Link. It enables you to use actions as full standalone animations. You have to manually set the target object for each slot of an action. You can then press the link button to apply the action and its slots to the entire scene. Anytime you select another action, you have to press the link button again to play and edit it. It is an additional button press, but at least it works. As far as I am aware, this is the only workaround that actually implements a proper relationship between plural, animations, and animatable properties in Blender. Since this is just an extension, no official exporter or importer has implemented support for it. At least you can apply and export animations one at a time with just a few clicks. I am working on a 3D file format for games development called STF that does support slot-link animations. It is not ready for productive use yet, but I dare to say it shows just how easy games development with Blender could be. Please feel free to watch my previous video to learn more about it. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. And if you tried SlotLink or have thoughts on Blender's animation system, or you think that I'm just a moron, please comment below. Cheers!